pray, kneeling low, hear what we say. Freedom calls in every tone. Faith is built on hearts of stone. Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp, they cut right through. Real talk for the soul's appeal. Prayers rise up the wounds they heal. Lift our voices to the sky, a righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down, for the Father wears the crown. Each step brings another fight. Breaking chains, we're seeking light. Voice of power won't be tamed. With His love, we're never ashamed. Lift our voices to the sky, a righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down, for the Father wears the crown. From the ashes we shall rise. Hope is found deep in our eyes. Every word a battle cry. With the Father none deny.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I am your host, Wise Man, and I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I hope you all had a great, restful, but fantastic weekend. Shout out to all my ARP family members. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 114 people in the chat early. Shout out to you all. God bless you all for pulling up this morning. I hope you guys are well. I hope your families are well. And we got a great show today. We got a lot to get into. I know you guys seen the thumbnail. You seen the title. We're going to talk about President Trump's meeting with Putin. We're going to talk about the slain officer, David Rose. And I have a story that we'll end the day with that is nothing short of remarkable. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. And we're going to get things kicked off, man. Again, hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Let me know what you guys did this weekend. I want a city, state, country check. Put it down in the chat for me. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay as well. Put that in the chat for me as well. Put a 1 in there if you guys can hear me just fine. And hey, let me show some love to my folks in the chat. Then we'll get the show started and we'll go from there. I gotta say it, super chat, super thanks will be greatly appreciated. All my ARP family members, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel financially. Before I get into the my folks in the chat, let me show some love to Eric Plummer. Shout out to you, brother. God bless you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel via Cash App. Shout out to Mike Kirkland for supporting the channel by buying your brother a coffee. Thank you very much. God bless you as well. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. Thank you very much. I also want to show some love to Gigi. Thank you very much for buying your brother a coffee as well. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Shout out to you all, man. Appreciate you guys supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. Shout out to you guys, man. God bless you all. I really, really appreciate it. I do not take it for granted at all. You guys could be anywhere in these YouTube streets, but you decided to hang out with me. You guys have decided to support me and this channel and what we're doing over here, man. So I really appreciate it, man. God bless you all. Getting into the chat, shout out to Lori Otteson. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Y'all make sure y'all follow Lori Ottison's instructions. She lets it be known. Please hit that like button on the way in. She says, good morning and happy Monday, Wise and ARP family. Let's get the day started. Let's get the day started the wise way. I love it. Shout out to ZFRK9. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. I know we're halfway through August. I'm telling you, man, the way these months are flying by, and to be honest with you, we're probably about 2/3 through August almost at this point. Shout out to Kevin Caldwell. Shout out to Redefined Queen. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Shout out to Hunter. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, man. He always starts us off with a nice Bible verse. We're going to throw it up here on the chat, on the screen right now. He says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Romans chapter 8, verse 18. Shout out to Sugar Shane Topics. Thank you very much, Hunter, for the Bible verse. Shout out to Diane. Is it Ambrowski? Hopefully I pronounced that right. What's going on, Marla? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. We got John Doe in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. GGT, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's up, Mark Galvin? How's it going this morning, brother? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Nashville in the building. A Peak in the building. Shout out to you, Toy Mafia. Shout out to Nelly. Good morning to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Who else we got up in here this morning? Let's see. Steve Edmister. Shout out to Buffalo. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, LJ? Crowley, Texas in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, B? How you doing this morning? Be safe out on the road. Hey, if there is anybody in Georgia that wants to link up with B, y'all make sure y'all show her some love. Reach out to her. It looks like she's on the road coming back from a long vacation. So shout out to you, B. Be safe out there. Shout out to Angela Montgomery. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Greetings from New Jersey. Shout out. All right. Who else we got up in here this morning? We got Amber Young in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got Melissa out of Honolulu. Aloha to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Quincy James in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All right. Who else we got up in here? I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm going to say Yan Marcomoyo. Oh, man. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, brother. Okie Angel in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Nadia Russo. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Mr. Largy. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Leslie Aaron? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All right. We got, I think that's Latrice. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Good morning to you as well. Thank you very much for pulling up. Thank you very much for pulling up. What's up, Riza Mahmood? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Who else we got up in here? Okay, Vernice. Appreciate you pulling up. Vernice Forte. We got Deborah Carver in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got Brian Gable. Okay. Man, I need YouTube to switch these names back. I don't know what the heck is going on. We got Eddie Hammond in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got Coley Bordeaux. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Okay, I see you. All right. Junior Ray in the house. Shout out to you. Krista Knight in the building. Shout out to you. We got Knitter 13 in the building. Maryland Eastern Shore in the house. Okay, that's what's up. All right. Kevin Caldwell, shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. All right, Colin Hughes in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Okay, looks like everybody can hear me fine. Good, perfect, perfect, perfect. All righty. So we're gonna get things kicked off, man. We're gonna get the show started. What's up, Malachi? How's it going this morning, brother? Headed to Connecticut. Hey, traveling grace with you. Be safe out there on the road. What's up, Maverick? How's it going this morning? What's going on? Big Job Ford in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Maverick, talking about go Eagles, go Birds. What's up, Chester? Massachusetts in the building. Hey, overall, man, the weekend was good. Pretty low key. Went and played some pickleball on Saturday. I don't know if you guys, are into pickleball. I just got into it probably about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. You guys know I play a lot of golf, but I wanted to change it up, man. And one of my guys was telling me about this pickleball thing. So I was like, you know what, let me try this pickleball thing out. And I think I'm hooked. I like the pickleball, man. It's good exercise. You can still get a chance to compete. Good opportunity, good way to network with people, get a chance to meet some pretty good people out there on the pickleball courts. We have an indoor pickleball facility not too far away from where I live at. And man, it's been great, man. So I've been playing now, I guess at this point now, I guess it's been maybe almost 3 weeks. And I enjoy it. So I went and played a little pickleball on Saturday, hit the gym Saturday morning, and watched the Ravens game Saturday evening, a little bit of it anyway. And then, yesterday, church with the wife, man, we got a chance to hang out with my mother-in-law and one of my nieces, one of my sister-in-laws. And, we did, lunch, things of that nature. And, outside of that, man, it was pretty low key. I didn't get into a whole lot, didn't make a whole lot of noise, but I never do. For the most part, my weekends are pretty low key. So my little hobbies, of golf and pickleball. Outside of that's pretty much my thing, right there, other than, hanging with the wife and being in the house. I'm somewhat of a homebody. Somewhat of a homebody. Although I do like to get out, from time to time, but my get out is, going to play golf, and now, incorporating this pickleball thing, it's been good. Sometimes I like to go to Permanente Brothers once college football season kicks off, because I like to go to Permanente Brothers and watch the games. And we'll do that from time to time. But outside of that, that's, I keep things pretty low key. Oh, we got Colin Hugh out of the UK. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Do we have any pickleball players in the chat? We got any pickleball players? I'm hooked. I'm not that good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've only won one game since I've been playing. I go in, old people and older women whip my tail because I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm learning and I am getting better. Shout out to Sugar Shane joining the ARP family, man. Thank you very much for supporting me, supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. God bless you, brother. So on Saturday, hey, that the older couple, whoop my tail. I'm like, goodness gracious. In my mind, I'm like, there's no way that this, little old lady should be whipping my tail. But hey, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't do nothing with it. I'm like, I am being humbled right now. And I pride myself as being a natural athlete, so I pick up on things pretty quickly. Now, they were pretty impressed due to the fact that they were like, how long have you been playing? I was like, hey, man, a couple weeks. They were pretty impressed, but I still got a ways to go. And old people are on the court whipping my tail right now. So, yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know, if we have any folks. I hadn't seen anybody in the chat that had mentioned it, but all right, man, we got folks all around the country pulling up, man. Love Jones said, LJ says she want to play that, just play cornhole for the first time. Yeah, cornhole is pretty cool. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm into cornhole like that, but typically, when there's barbecues or family reunions or something like that out this way, people will break out the cornhole. I went to one of my friends' house for 4th of July and hung out with them, and they had the cornhole out, man. We had a good time. So that's really only time I really play cornhole. Although I bet you guys didn't know that there is an actual professional cornhole league out there. And you got some guys, man, that every time they toss that daggone bag, they get that thing right in the hole. It is wild how good these people are, man. What's going on, MJ? Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Hey, I got to get your email address, man, so I can add you, because I wanted to have you on the panel last week, man. And by the time, I kind of realized that, I wanted to get you on the panel, it was kind of later in the day, and I wasn't for sure if you were going to check Facebook Messenger or anything like that. But if you could, on Messenger, shoot me your email address so I have it, so I can add you and put you on some of the calendar invites in the near future, bro. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, brother. All right, we got Merrick in the building. Washington State moving to Georgia in a few months. Hey, I don't blame you on that one. I do not blame you on that one. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all pulling up this morning, man. Oh, Diane said, pickleball, please wear ankle support. Hey, I got my knee brace, not knee brace, my knee sleeve. I also have, I got court shoes. Yeah, I'm trying to do everything that I can to make sure that I protect myself, I try to make sure we're doing that safety first. I got to stretch and I got to warm up, all those kind of things. Once you hit 40 plus, man, you can't just jump out on the court and act like you're just going to jump out there and play. That's just not how it works. And yeah, but I will say, man, this is the pickleball, man, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but it is a little, I won't say disheartening, but somewhat embarrassing, when, you get, some little old lady that's half your size, and probably, 20 years older than you, and she got you running around the court and just getting whipped. I was just like, what in the heck is going on? Kristen Knight said, we're not old, just older. Okay, that's what I'll say. Older. I'm like, goodness gracious, man. I was so daggone upset, man. I hate to lose. I'm not a sore loser, but I don't like to lose. Quincy said he a cornhole master. I hear that. But it is it's a great sport, man. I enjoy it. Timothy says pickleball is great. Pickleball is great. Pickleball is great. Got to learn how to put that spin on it, Wise. Yeah, I'm working on it. Baby steps, man. Baby steps. I got to learn how to serve. Well, I kind of got my serve down pat. So I got that. I got to work. Every time I go back out there, I've realized I got to learn something else. People, they realize that, hey, you got a weak backhand and they attack your backhand, and I'm giving up tons of points because I can't say I can't, but I have a low percentage of returning with that daggone backhand. So I got work to do. But I will not be trash for long. I am an athlete. I pride myself on picking up sports pretty quickly. I got into golf right around the pandemic time frame, like really got into it. And I went from shooting, in the 110s to 115s to consistently playing between, 88 and about 92 with a low round of 77. So, and it took me probably about 2 to 3 years to where I got to that point to where I was like, oh man, not a bad player. So I won't be bad for long. I won't be bad for long. Candace said, wait till you hit 60s. Lord willing. Shout out to a super straight pure blood. Appreciate you with the $2 chat. Says, good morning. God bless you and your work. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Angela Montgomery said, we're seasoned saints. I love it. Seasoned. I like it. Okay. I got all my folks in here. They're like, yeah. I'm out there. It's still embarrassing. When you go out there and you get your tail whipped by, someone that's 55 to 65. I mean, come on, man. That's kind of embarrassing. That shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. I'm like, man, I am 6'2", mid twos, and I can move. I should be able, but yeah, I see. Yeah. Hey, it's all about the skill. And I do agree with you, Timothy. I got to learn how to put some spin. I got to work on top spin, back spin. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do, but I will not be bad long. I promise you that much. I will not be bad long. All right, we're gonna get the show started, man. Again, hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button, super chat, super thanks would be greatly appreciated. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Join the ARP family, support what we're doing over here. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you very much. And we'll go ahead and get things kicked off. Blues, I'm not sure exactly where we are with the likes, but I want to make sure that we are where we need to be at with the likes. And we're going to get things kicked off. And without further ado, let's go. Alrighty. Hey. Love him, love the guy, hate the guy. But we know that President Trump knows how to put on a show. And the reality of it is, when you saw this flyover, you look at Putin, hey. And then you got Trump, just completely unfazed. I really appreciated how he walked out there by himself without protection of Secret Service. A lot of people were clowning, like, why is he walking in zigzags? But if you had somebody shoot at you and try to take your head off, you would be walking in a zigzag pattern as well. You would have been walking in a zigzag pattern as well. Y'all already know. And that daggone stealth, woo! Yeah. We got to get into it, man. We got to get into it. Of course, mainstream media, they try to poo-poo and downplay because that's who they are and that's what they do. That's who they are and that's what they do. But it was really a show of force to let it be known that, hey, we are nothing to be trifled with. Nothing to be trifled with. This was a complete power move. Complete power move. You guys know it, man. But I want to get into it real quick. We're not going to stay on it too long, but I want to talk about it real quick. And I want to talk about what actually went down in Alaska between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. Before I get into that too, do you understand how many stupid people are out there? I probably shouldn't say that. There are a lot of not so smart people out there. It's like, why did they meet in Alaska? Why did they, I'm like, do y'all not understand that Alaska and Russia is pretty much right next to each other? Like, for the life of me, man, some people just do not understand geography. They don't understand geography at all. Goodness gracious. I'm like, do y'all not understand? They're like, oh, they had to travel all the way around. I was like, nah, it was actually quicker and closer to meet in Alaska. They're literally right next to each other. Most people don't understand that the Americans actually bought Alaska from Russia for 2 cents an acre way back when. But honestly, it was in my opinion, it was a pure sign of strength. Not only to let it be known, like, hey, we're going to do this in Alaska. We know it used to be yours, but it's not anymore. They had to fly over. I just don't get it. What's going on, Crystal? How you doing this morning? What's going on, Crystal? Says, love ARP family. Happy Monday, everyone. A-Wise. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for pulling up this morning. This meeting right here, this is one of those meetings that, people are going to be talking about for a very long time. And honestly, it's not just the meeting itself that matters. It's really the reaction from mainstream media afterwards that may have been a lot more telling. So here's what happened. Last Friday, Trump and Putin, they met at a joint base, the Elmendorf Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska, and the two talked for nearly 3 hours. No peace deal yet, no ceasefire, no dramatic breakthrough, at least not publicly anyway. But it looks like and it sounds like there was some progress made. The White House says it was a positive step in the right direction, pointing to late night calls with Zelensky that followed, where security guarantees were discussed. That's important because it shows Trump is working with both sides, meeting with Putin directly while also coordinating with Ukraine and Europe. Now, let's get back to the summit real quick. Because Putin went out of his way to remind everyone that he had warned the U.S. years ago about pushing things towards an open conflict. And then he made the headline statement that if Trump would have been president in 2022, Russia never would have invaded Ukraine. Let's take a listen to that real quick.
Remind you that in 2022, during the last contact with the previous administration, I tried to convince my previous American colleague that the situation should not be brought to the point of no return when it would come to hostilities. And I said it quite directly back then that it's a big mistake. Today, when President Trump is saying that if he was the president back then, there will be no war. And I'm quite sure that it would indeed be so. I can confirm that. I think that overall, me and President Trump have built a very good, business-like and trustworthy contact. And I have every reason to believe that moving down this path, we can come, and the sooner the better, to the end of the conflict in Ukraine.
Now, that's a pretty stunning admission. It's a pretty stunning admission. And you can bet that the media, they're trying to bury it. And they've also tried to spin it as well, right? But it also confirms exactly what President Trump had been saying all along. Under his leadership, there wouldn't have been a war. And on top of that, Putin openly praised his relationship with the president, calling it businesslike and trustworthy, even hinting that this kind of dialogue could help bring the Ukraine conflict to an end. Whether you take that at face value or not, it's still a massive statement. But the media, mainstream media, of course, they're fixated on optics. They're calling it a failure, saying that Trump looked weak because he didn't press Putin harder on stage during a short press conference before walking off without taking questions. And personally, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, these reporters, they flew 10 hours from New York, D.C. just to sit around, hear a few remarks, and then got told basically, take y'all behinds back home. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible, man. And honestly, that's exactly how it should be. Sensitive peace talks don't happen in front of cameras. That was Trump and Putin sending a clear message. The media doesn't get to sabotage this one. And yet critics, they're pretending that because Trump didn't air disagreements on live air, that he was owned, which I think is pretty ridiculous. They're obsessing over clapping and handshakes, who spoke first, like it's some kind of middle school debate or something, man. Reporters are fuming that they couldn't just shout questions at Putin, and enraged that Trump didn't play their game. But in reality, all it showed is that Trump knew exactly what he was doing. That's all it showed, man.
President Trump will say the pomp and circumstances. It
was just very unusual, atypical, and I think we're all awaiting, the readout, because the way that it felt in the room was not good. It did not seem like things went well, and it seemed like Putin came in and steamrolled, got right into what he wanted to say, and got his.
Here's the problem with what this young lady is saying. She wasn't in the meeting. She has no idea what was actually said behind closed doors because she wasn't there. All these people just speculating. But it didn't stop her from spinning it as a disaster. And that's exactly what frustrates a lot of people about today's press. They jump to conclusions, assume the worst, and then broadcast their hot takes as if they're facts. And let's not forget who Miss Heinrich's fiance is, which is Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, who's one of the first lawmakers to visit Ukraine. So maybe there's a little bias baked in there on her part. And the media, they reacted exactly how you would expect. They reacted exactly how you expect. ABC tried grilling Marco Rubio about giving Putin the red carpet treatment, trying to frame the administration as weak. But I gotta ask this question, man. If you're trying to do a deal with someone, right? There's an act of war. They say upwards of 6,000 to 7,000 people a week are dying due to this conflict. Last time I checked, Putin is still a world leader. He is. Regardless of how the Europeans feel, regardless of how mainstream media feels about the guy, he is still a world leader, and he does deserve respect. And to be honest with you, it's hard to do deals with people when you try to come across as just blatantly disrespectful towards them. They say you can catch a lot more bees, with honey, right? I mean, come on, man. Being respectful, showing respect, that's not the same as being weak. It's not the same. What's weak is the fact that the previous administration, the previous president, chose to not actually speak to President Putin. Chose not to have a conversation with him. That's weak. Only talking to one side, talking about we got to solve a conflict. How do you solve a conflict between two people when you only talk to one side? You can't. You can't do it. RJ, you're absolutely right, man. You attract way more bees with honey than vinegar. But these people don't seem to understand that. But then again, most of these folks, they don't even understand how to negotiate. They should really read The Art of the Deal. Honestly, most of these people have never read Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, which is a phenomenal book that I don't think that you should read like all the way through. It's not one of those kinds of books. You actually can just pick out the principles that make sense to you at the time and read. But if you actually take the time to read Robert Greene's book, he talks about how to deal with these types of situations and how to deal with these types of people. And you definitely don't go in there like a bull in a china shop. You definitely don't go in there being rude and disrespectful, thinking that you're going to be able to get your way or get a deal done. What's up, Dre? How you doing this morning, brother? You just don't. How many of you guys are familiar with Robert Greene's book? How many of you guys are familiar with it? How many of you guys in the chat are familiar with Robert Greene's book, the 48 Laws of Power? If you're not, check it out. Take some time. I'm not saying read it from front to back, but just take some time to go into a couple of the different, into a couple of the different laws in there. And I mean, it gives you explanation on what to do and what not to do. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal book. Dre, I already know. I know you read it. I know you've read it. If you have not, I definitely think that you should. I definitely think that you should check it out, man. It's a phenomenal book.
President Trump will say the pomp and circumstance, the red carpet, the warm handshake, that President Trump simply lost that Putin gained there just by being on the world stage and walking down a red carpet with the president. Your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, critics of President Trump are always going to find something to criticize. You don't even pay attention to it anymore. But I will tell you this. Putin is already on the world stage. He's already on the world stage. The guy's conducting a full-scale war in Ukraine. He's already on the world stage. He has the world's largest tactical nuclear arsenal in the world and the second largest strategic nuclear arsenal in the world. He's already on the world stage. When I hear people say that, oh, it elevates him, well, all we do is talk about Putin all the time. All the media's done is talk about Putin all the time for the last 4 or 5 years. That doesn't mean he's right about the war. That doesn't mean he's justified about the war. Put all that aside. It means you're not going to have a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine. You're not going to end a war between Russia and Ukraine without dealing with Putin. That's just common sense. I shouldn't even have to say it. So people can say whatever they want. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to get the Russian side to agree to things that they don't want to agree to if we're going to have peace. If not, there'll just be a war. They'll keep killing each other, and life will go on in America and in the rest of the world, but not for Ukraine. So the president has invested a lot of time in trying to bring an end to this war. He deserves credit for doing that. He gets criticism for doing that. He could have just let this war go on. The president could have just said, this is Biden's war. It started under him. We'll do what we can for Ukraine, but we're going to focus on other things. He could have easily said that. But he's the only leader in the world that can get Putin to a meeting to talk about serious things.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this should be common sense, right? It should be common sense. How do you solve this conflict without speaking to Putin? How do you solve this conflict without speaking to both sides? I mean, this is just common sense, man. Marco Rubio's absolutely right, but anybody with two daggone brain cells to rub together should be able to pick that up. Everybody knows, everybody should know that, hey, you can't solve a conflict between two individuals without having conversations with both parties. Everybody knows it. You can't. The media knows it. But instead of admitting it, they just keep spinning the same tire lines. Trump's cozy with Putin, which is nonsense. Diplomacy is not weakness. I got to say it again for you guys in the back. Diplomacy is not weakness. It's strategic leverage. Something I'm assuming that mainstream media, they don't know nothing about. I got to say it again. Diplomacy isn't a sign of weakness. I mean, goodness gracious. Sometimes it just makes me wonder, you know what I'm saying, who still watches these people and takes them seriously and believes what they're saying? Who are the not so intelligent people in this country that still listen to these people and thinking that they're getting the truth? Who is it? I mean, the media, they can cry all they want to about the red carpet, they can all day. But the simple truth is this. You cannot end a war without engaging the aggressor. You can't. Trump's approach forced Putin to the table, breaking the cycle of endless conflict and cutting off the taxpayer drain for this forever funding a war. In my opinion, it's a win. But of course, the Communist News Network, the Democrat, propaganda machine known as CNN, they turned it into an optics conspiracy, even rolling out body language experts to claim that Trump looks submissive. I don't know how they saw that, but again, I don't know much about body language experts, but what I do know is that they can get up there and they can say anything because most people don't know anything about body language like that. So they can get up there and say anything. Now, I'm one of those kind of people, I believe that President Trump knew exactly what he was doing, all the way down to when he walked down that red carpet by himself, zigzagging. People look like, what's wrong with him? He looks like, nah, he walked in zigzag lines to make sure that if there is somebody out there that wants to do him harm, it is not going to be easy. I'm not just going to be a straight line standing target for me to shoot. I'm not. These people are outrageous, man. Seriously. These people are, they are outrageous.
President Trump, as Putin is approaching him, what do you make of the clap?
Michael, this is a moment. Remember, when Trump gets to that carpet there, he's waiting. He's in the authority position. By using that clap, he's taking some of the authority out of the moment, going from host into receiver. He offers a rapport and an opportunity to lighten the moment through that clap. It's followed by a smile as he puts his hand out in this very open palm gesture. It's an interesting hand move that he does in order to clap in that particular. So the clap just takes some of the intensity out of the moment.
And we showed the handshake as well, the handshake, the warm greeting between them. By the way, with regard to the clap, I hear a lot of criticism like, why would he clap for Putin? I don't have your expertise, but I took that as, it's like, hey, I'm happy you're here. Like Chris Ulrich, I'm happy you're on my show today. All right, we're going to do this.
Yeah, keep in mind, a clap moment like this, we'll see Tonight Show hosts and other folks who do this. It's like, let's get ready to do this. The handshake that follows that is a moment of opportunity for them to connect. And that handshake, Michael, lasts for 10 seconds as they build rapport. They're smiling at each other. They're making eye contact as they're looking at each other. This is a moment of rapport building and parity. And even in those moments, keep in mind, Michael, the handshake is a negotiation, an ongoing signal for power. Here, Trump shows deference, followed by pulling the hand in and using these touch gestures to reestablish dominance as they walk down, showing he's in control.
Who said that? Where's that at? I gotta throw this up here. Thank you, Herman. Thank you. Civility can only be accomplished by civilized people. I appreciate you putting that up there. Thank you. I mean, to be honest with you, man, a kid in grade school could look at the video and tell you what's going on. But when you actually listen to these so-called experts, they admit that Trump pulled Putin's hand in, which he always does as a sign of strength. Shake, pull, get closer. That's letting it be known, I am that guy. Maintain eye contact. Weakness would be a guy that limp handshake, and breaks eye contact on the handshake. That's a sign of weakness. When you maintain eye contact, that's actually what you call projecting dominance throughout the entire thing. So the narrative that Putin was the alpha and that, Trump was the beta, I mean, it just falls apart when you actually watch the footage instead of reading the Twitter headlines. And let's not forget, Trump posted on Truth Social that everyone in the room agreed the best path forward isn't a temporary ceasefire, but a real peace agreement. That was put out there. I want you guys to see this. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check it out, but give me a second. Let me pull it up here. And actually, I'll make that a little bigger there just so you guys can see it yourself. Because it's significant. Because temporary ceasefires usually collapse. You guys know this. A permanent agreement would be the only way to end this entirely bloody or too bloody conflict. And of course, that's easier said than done. Sources say that Putin offered to freeze the front lines if Ukraine gave up all of Donetsk, hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly, which Zelensky immediately rejected. But that just shows you how far apart the sides still are. Russia wants land, Ukraine wants sovereignty, NATO wants influence, and Trump is trying to thread the needle between all of it. And from Putin's perspective, I mean, this meeting, it was symbolic. It ended his so-called international isolation. This was the first time that he was welcomed on the U.S. soil outside of the UN in nearly 20 years. And it was Trump who brought him there. And that's a good thing. Two nuclear powers talking is a good thing. Even CNN admitted that Trump sent Putin a good message through this meeting. They had to admit it.
Advance for Vice President George Herbert Walker Bush. So I pay particular attention to the staging of these events. And I thought that the criticism was unwarranted. We forced, here, Tony, was this guy's name Tony? We forced Putin to walk a gauntlet of F-35s. As a B-2, flew overhead, I presume the same type of an aircraft that dropped that bomb on the nuclear facilities in Iran. I mean, I think there was a good message that was given to Putin as to American strength and for making him feel warm so that Trump could try and cut a deal. I have no problem with that.
He's not wrong, man. He's not wrong. What happened on Friday? What happened on Friday is that we were reminded that Trump's the only American president who has kept Putin in check without stumbling into war. And that may not look like much to the pundits, but history will definitely remember it. And some Republicans are already saying that Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize if he's able to pull this off. And it's not just Republicans that are saying this. It's not just Republicans that are saying this. Check this out.
that Hillary Clinton yesterday said that if you got this deal done and not capitulate to Putin, that she would nominate you for the Nobel Peace Prize.
If President Trump were the architect of that, I'd nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, that was very nice. I may have to start liking her again.
President Trump's a mess, man. I don't suggest that he starts liking Hillary Clinton again. I just don't suggest it. But yeah, if he can pull this off, it would be well deserved. If he can pull it off, it would be well deserved. I mean, Obama got one for a whole lot less. Even CNN's Michael Smerconish, he said that if Trump negotiates a fair deal that Ukraine finds acceptable, he should win it. And yeah, I think we all can agree with that, right? I think we all can agree with that.
He brokers a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia, one that does not sell out Ukraine, then yes, I'm with Secretary Clinton, and I'd nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize. This is today's poll question at Smerconish.com. Put it up on the screen. Make sure you're going and casting your ballot on this. If President Trump brokers a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine that Ukraine finds acceptable, I was very careful to put that in the question. I didn't just say, should he get a Nobel Peace Prize? First of all, they've got to resolve the war, and Ukraine has to find it acceptable. And frankly, I don't know how you'd vote no on that. I don't know how. I'm prepared. Let me just say this. I proved this to you last week on air when I covered my eyes, and Catherine asked me to predict, what's the outcome of the poll. You learned a couple of things. I don't cheat on these things. I really don't know what the results are. I anticipate that President Trump is going to come out on the losing end of this stick when we come back with the results in just a few minutes. But I don't get it. I truly don't get it. That will be Trump derangement syndrome. Because how could you say if he negotiates a fair peace that he's undeserving? I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. What the media calls fair, or what they would call a fair peace deal, I mean, obviously, it rarely lines up with reality. The Alaska summit wasn't a final agreement, but it was historic, and it is a step in the right direction. Putin sitting down with President Trump on U.S. soil. I mean, real peace may mean Ukraine giving up a little land and NATO ambitions, forcing the U.S. and Europe to decide, normalize relations with Russia, or keep treating Russia like a pariah. Either way, Trump is the only leader actually trying to end this war instead of endlessly funding it. And the media obsessed over, handshakes and optics, but they're missing the bigger story. This could be the first real step towards peace. History may look back at this moment, you know what I'm saying, as the road or the road that led towards ending this war. Now, of course, we're going to have people that suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, and it doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter. They'll poo-poo the president. They don't care about no Nobel Peace Prize for him. It won't matter to him. It won't matter to him at all. But it would be a beautiful thing if they can get this accomplished in the very near future. It is. But I want to move on. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Like I said, super chat, super thanks. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for those that joined the ARP family today. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. I want to move on in other news because I want to talk about a fallen hero who fell to an individual that we'll just say, the tragedy itself. This is a senseless situation, and it has left a community reeling. It has left a family in shambles, a wife who is pregnant in shambles. And this one here, it's out of Atlanta. It's out of DeKalb County. So I had to talk about it. For those of you guys that know, I was born, in Knoxville, Tennessee, but I moved to DeKalb County. when I was, 11, 12 years old. And that is home. My brother still lives out there right now in DeKalb County. I got folks out that way right now in DeKalb County. So I want to talk about it, man, because mainstream media really isn't discussing this. We don't have anybody from the BLM crowd or the Al Sharptons or the Ben Crumps or the Crockett's. No one's really discussing this situation here. So I wanted to bring some awareness to this young man. And, it's really, really awful, man. It's really awful what happened. And it's really, really unfortunate what happened. So I want to talk about this. We're going to get into it. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Let's keep going.
Continue to track developments in this story. Of course, one thing that we want to make you aware of is that we now know the identity of the officer who was killed today. DeKalb County saying it is with profound sadness and heavy hearts that we announce the passing of Officer David Rose, who was tragically killed in the line of duty. The DKPD sending this out. I believe they have a series of tweets that they put out describing the officer. Officer Rose served DeKalb County with courage, integrity, and unwavering dedication. Even in the face of danger, was he diligent in his duty to protect our community. I believe the next one has a photo of Rose. We extend our deepest condolences to Officer Rose's family, friends, fellow DeKalb County officers, and law enforcement community during this most difficult time. Again, we cannot imagine how Rose's family, friends, and fellow officers are feeling tonight. We do know that he was killed by what at the time was an active shooter. This all unfolded inside a CVS at Emory Point. It prompted at the time lockdowns at the CDC, Emory University, and nearby facilities. We do know that 92 children from a CDC campus daycare were safely evacuated and reunited with parents at that building. Several CDC buildings were struck by gunfire. And the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is leading the case with assistance from APD, the FBI, and other agencies. A motive has not been determined, but we are learning now of the identity of Officer Rose, who was killed today in the line of duty.
Just a few weeks ago, DeKalb County police officer David Rose, only 33 years old, young man, was gunned down outside the CDC headquarters in Atlanta while responding to a reported gunman near Clifton Road. He is a Marine veteran who joined the force in September of 2024, graduated from the academy this past March. Rose leaves behind 2 young children and a pregnant wife. His funeral is set for this coming Friday, August 22nd, but the grief is already unbearable. Rose was doing what officers do every day, protecting us, protecting the citizens in DeKalb County, when a stray bullet cut his life short. I mean, it's a tragic reminder that it's a tragic reminder of the dangers police face the moment they put a badge on. And this wasn't some isolated incident. Atlanta's been battling a crime wave. DeKalb County's police data shows violent crime is up 12% in 2025, with shooting spiking 18% since last year. Rose's death isn't just heartbreaking. I mean, it's a wake-up call. But here's where it gets ugly. While families are mourning, the race hustlers are circling, not to solve the problem, but to exploit it. This time, they're not just pointing to race. They're even trying to pin this one on RFK Jr., claiming that he's got blood on his hands. You can't make this stuff up, man. You cannot make this stuff up.
Congratulations, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Your body count went up by 2 last week. And I wish I was talking about your conquest of women, because I know you're that kind of sleaze, but unfortunately I'm talking about actual deaths. Last Friday, August 8th, a man went to the headquarters of the CDC and fired what is now reported as 500 rounds, 200 of which struck the building. He shattered windows, put a lot of people in danger, including children who were in the CDC's daycare, and killed a DeKalb County police officer, David Rose. The shooter said he went to the CDC campus because he had been feeling depressed and suicidal and blamed that on the COVID-19 vaccine. This is partially due to the disinformation that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. spreads. Kennedy isn't the only one who has Officer Rose's blood on his hands. There are many people who have been contributing to this disinformation campaign and who led up to this shooting. But Kennedy definitely played a significant part of it and is once again responsible for the deaths of innocent people because of the lies that he spreads. He needs to resign, and he needs to do it now.
Now, for the life of me, you know what? We got to talk about this guy for a second. Who wears a t-shirt and a bow tie? Never seen such a thing. T-shirt and a bow tie? And how did you come up with, how did he piece this together to put this particular situation at the feet of RFK Jr.? I just don't understand it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. But then again, I guess it shouldn't make sense when you see this man with a t-shirt on, super snug tight t-shirt at that, and a bow tie. That's enough picking on this guy. But blaming RFK Jr., blaming a man who's just trying to improve our health system is just absolutely wild. But you know what's even more telling is the silence. Where's BLM at? Where's the NAACP at? Where's Maxine Waters? Where's Al Sharpton? Where's Jasmine Crockett? Where are the marches, the press conferences, and TV pleas for justice? I mean, take Jasmine Crockett, man. She's built her entire career on deflecting from real crime, blaming systemic racism instead of confronting actual shooters. And unless, of course, the shooter's white. Then suddenly, according to her, 80% of the most violent crimes are white supremacists. Her words, not mine. I didn't say it. She said it, but I want you guys to hear it for yourself. This lady is freaking nuts.
If you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists.
Let me make sure y'all got the facts. Most extreme crimes that take place in this country are committed by white supremacists. 80%.
If you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google.
I can't with the ignorance, man. I'm looking forward to her going away, but the reality of it is, even when she's out of Congress, I would assume that MSNBC is going to sign her. She's going to have her own television show to spew this type of hatred on a day-to-day basis. The question though, for real is, how do these so-called leaders decide which causes they go all in for? Because in this case, police have already identified the suspect, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, who died on the scene as well. And no, I'm not going to show his picture. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Studies have shown that plastering, someone who does, these types of heinous acts, plastering their faces all over the news, it doesn't stop the violence. It actually inspires it. It turns shooters into twisted celebrities. So we're not going to do that here. Not on this channel. We're going to focus on the victims. We're going to focus on Officer David Rose, not the criminals. But here's what's strange. The silence from the race hustlers, it raises the real question. How do they pick their battles? Jasmine Crockett, BLM, Al Sharpton, they're experts at cherry-picking causes that fit their narrative. When a Republican stumbles, oh man, you can bet your bottom dollar you're going to hear about it for weeks. But when it's one of their own, the playbook changes. Look at Cori Bush funneling campaign funds into her husband's security firm. Nothing but crickets from Al Sharpton or Keisha Lance Bottoms, who dodged accountability for Atlanta's crime spike in 2020 while BLM kept marching for equity. But no marches for the victims. And don't forget, when a black cop, was killed out in Chicago last year, Al Sharpton skipped the funeral. Yet he showed up for a traffic stop that fits his police brutality narrative. because it's never about justice. It's always about pushing an agenda. And that's why I actually expected to hear something this time. The suspect was white, but nothing. Why? Could it be because Rose was a cop? Could that be? I mean, this man didn't just fall. He fought back. The DeKalb County PD reports that Officer Rose, a Marine veteran, engaged the suspect who opened fire near the CDC. Rose drew on his training, returned fire, and likely prevented a massacre by forcing White into a confrontation that ended right there. Body cam footage shows that they showed that he was shielding civilians before taking the fatal shot. I mean, we're talking about a selfless individual to the end. Sacrificed his life to save lives, man. Sacrificed his life to save lives. And it's sad, man. You hear nothing from these people, man. Absolutely nothing. Give me a second. I got a couple super chats I want to read. And let me take care of this real quick. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, shout out to is it ABAB? Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Joining the ARP family. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Shout out to Herman Tharp. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly. With the $2 super chat, says, much love, brother. Blessings. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Hunter with the $5 super chat, says, the Democrats, BLM, the left, all of them are a den of vipers. I would agree with that. You get no argument from me. And shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat, says, can't take him seriously wearing a medium shirt along with the bow tie. I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen anything like it. Smug t-shirt, you know what I'm saying, with a daggone bow tie. Mike C says, whenever an officer goes down, it really hits home. I've had too many of my colleagues die in the line of duty. Yeah, it's sad, man. It really is. It's really sad. Quincy James says, my cousin LAPD, and I tell him all the time, these people ain't worth it. Dion says, it's a medium. Y'all are a mess. All righty. Rest in peace to Officer David Rose, man. My condolences to his family, you know, to his children, to his wife, his mother, his father. And I want to just put on and hold a quick moment of silence for him and his family. We're going to move on, man. Prayers to his family. Prayers to his family. Condolences to his family. And, you know, to the DeKalb County Police Department. You know, they lost one. Rest in peace to Officer David Rose, man. It's awful. And last but not least, I want to get into this story here because I think this story here it's a fitting way to close the show today. And you know, hopefully this will uplift your spirits. You know, so I want to switch gears into something that is truly miraculous. I don't know if you heard about this story right here, but it's a tale of faith and survival that's got a lot of people talking about divine intervention. Now picture this. A young man staring death right in the face. A stray bullet flying his way, and a simple cross necklace, turning the impossible into a miracle. This isn't just a feel-good moment. It's a powerful reminder of the strength of faith in action. I want you guys to see and hear what happened. I don't know if you guys had a chance to hear about this story here, but phenomenal. phenomenal, amazing, remarkable, whatever words you want to use. It's all of that.
Right here on Fox 35, a young man in Ocala takes a bullet to the chest. Surprisingly, he survived and is now on the road to recovery.
Both he and his team of doctors are crediting a piece of jewelry as the reason he's still here. Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie spoke exclusively with him tonight. Hannah, what did he tell you?
Well, Marlisa, he told me he is still here today thanks to his necklace and perhaps some divine intervention.
I have a pretty big wound there. It's a little sore.
Sore, but alive. 3 weeks ago, Aiden Perry was shot at point-blank range with a .40 caliber pistol. The 20-year-old says his friend, showing off the gun, accidentally pulled the trigger.
I look down, I see tons of blood. I thought I was going to die, honestly.
It wasn't until he got to the emergency room that doctors at HCA Florida Ocala Hospital realized why he was still alive.
I think he's extremely lucky. He's a very fortunate young individual because if his chain was not there, the outcome would have been completely different.
A small gold cross Perry wears around his neck deflected the bullet.
So the bullet entered his left upper chest around this area and traveled to his left arm.
Dr. Kafra Garcia Henry says it missed every vital organ, avoiding what could have been a possibly fatal outcome.
I want to stop it right there for a quick second. And, I want to talk about this real quick. We'll let it play a little more. But talk about a God moment. Talk about a God moment. Aiden Perry's story out of Ocala, it's nothing short of a modern day miracle. Back on June 7, 2025, this 20-year-old young man was accidentally shot point blank with a .40 caliber pistol. Now, if you guys know anything about guns, a .40 cal is serious. That's a big gun. It's a big gun. He was shot point blank with a .40 caliber pistol at one of his friend's house. Again, if you guys know anything about guns, a .40 caliber weapon is no joke from a distance, let alone up close and personal. The bullet, it should have ended him. Trauma surgeon Garcia Henry, she said the injuries like that are usually devastating, usually fatal. But here's the kicker. Aiden's gold cross necklace, which was a Christmas gift from his father, split the bullet into two. It ricocheted off the chain, missing every major organ, exiting near his armpit, and only breaking his humerus. Doctors are calling it a 1 in a million save, but Aiden and his family, they know it's more than luck. They said that Jesus stepped in. Jesus stepped in. Nothing else can explain it.
The cross, a present from his dad, Aaron. It's now in two pieces. You can see it's even dented from the blow.
There was more than just a piece of metal there, 100%.
The Perry family now counting their blessings.
I was religious before. I'd consider myself more religious now than ever for the rest of my life. I don't think I'd still be here without God.
Now, the bullet did also go through Perry's arm, breaking it. They are hoping he does not need surgery for that. As for the man who shot him, he was arrested and is facing a misdemeanor charge for culpable negligence. Live in Ocala, Hannah McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
Wow. And the reality of it is this, let's just keep it real. 2 lives were saved that day. Because the young man, yes, he's being charged with a misdemeanor, but he easily could have been charged with the felony. Had this going another direction, he easily could have been charged with, I don't know what they would have called it in Florida, but what do they call it? Either negligent homicide or, some form of manslaughter, if it would have gone in that direction. God is good, man. He is good. He is good. When you hear these types of stories, it just really lets you know how good he is. Now, I'm sure you guys in the chat, I'm doing the same. We're praying for Aiden's full recovery. In a world full of noise, I mean, it's easy to feel alone, but the truth is that we're never alone. We're never alone. He's always there, taking hits for us, carrying what we can't. That's why faith, it just can't be passive. It has to be active. It has to be. Real faith shields us from what the world throws our way. And that's why I push back when schools, push secularism. We push back when the media mocks belief, when politicians dodge God. Because without faith, what do you really have? Nietzsche once declared, God is dead. Okay, if that is true, what or who do you put in his place? What philosophy has the power what philosophy has the power to hold society together? Give life meaning beyond the moment? There isn't one. And when people stop seeing themselves as part of something greater, bigger than themselves, all that's left is lawlessness, selfishness, and an empty pursuit of the now. Aiden's story is proof of Christianity's enduring truth. Some will scoff. Some will call it coincidence. Some will say he was lucky. I'll say that he is blessed. But when a bullet snaps a chain and narrowly misses vital organs, the odds, in my opinion, scream divine design. Wow. What a story, man. I don't know if this was the first time that you guys heard that, but if it is, I'm glad I was able to share it with you guys and present it to you guys, man. This is just another sign. It's just another sign out there, man, to let all the people know God is real. He is real, and he is working. What's going on, TA? How you doing this morning, brother? But that's all I have for you guys today, man. That's all I have for you guys today, man. I appreciate you all pulling up this morning. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Let's make sure that we keep Officer David Rose keep Officer David Rose, his wife and his children, his family lifted up in prayer as they go through these trying times. Let's make sure that we keep them lifted up in prayer. I appreciate you guys, pulling up this morning, hanging out with me for a little bit. I know short show, it's Monday, but short show today. But I do appreciate you guys, man. Thank you to all my ARP family members, everybody that supports this channel financially. Thank you guys very much for supporting me and supporting what we're doing over here at A Righteous Perspective. I really, really appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody that supported the channel financially this morning. If you'd like to support the channel, go get you some merch. It's you'll see that link. It's down there in the description box. Cash out, buy your brother a coffee. That helps as well. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel financially. I really do. Hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful remainder of the day, this fine Monday. We're starting off right. Today is a great day. This week will be a great week. And I appreciate you guys, man. God bless you all. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time, Lord willing, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. You guys be blessed, man. Take care. Peace. You know what? I want to.
And the problem I got with the New School Church is that we've developed a victim theology. This victim theology that suggests that everything wrong in your life is either your haters or the devil. When sometimes the worst thing in your life is you. You don't pray, you don't talk to God, you don't tithe, you don't read your Bible, and you think you can come to church and listen to my jacked up self and be better all week. I'm having to pray and talk to God all week too. That's why the devil thinks the church soft now. The devil be in hell like they lame and washed out. All they want to do is jump up, slap hot neighbors, high five, sing, shout, cry, roll on the floor, go home and do the exact same thing. When I'm trying to show you, if you ever make up in your mind, I'm ready to repent, I'm ready to pray, and I'm ready to get in my word. Why? Because your situation don't change the word, but the word will change your situation. Somebody say,
we won't stop, I won't quit, stand for the truth, no counterfeit, real ones rise, let the fake ones split, repent for the lies, let the darkness live.